I mean, first off, dream come true. It's crazy. I mean, I got called into Coach G's office one day, and I was always
Coach
working as a
G, shout out to
manager.
Coach G.
Coach G was a
I'm
guest on
on the
our
show.
podcast. Go watch his radio show, great radio show. And so going back, he calls me into his office. It was right after a practice right before practice had started. The guys, this is the funny thing. So like the guys were like looking at me like all funny and stuff, like kind of like you see little smirks and stuff. Like I was like, what's going on? Is there like a prank going on or something? Like I see Jalil like giggling, like B Rush like laughing or something. I'm just like, all right. So Coach G, one of the assistants calls me up, and I go upstairs. Coach G's in his office. It's like in his throne. Like that's how he has his office set up. He's like,
He does. He does.
Sal, come sit over here. And I was like, all right, what's going on? Did I get in trouble? This is like reminding me, like, give me flashbacks of like when I got the scholarship,
Yeah.
right? Like I got called in, I
Same.
thought I was in trouble. Same thing. So I go and sit down, and Coach G was just flat out with it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final two podcast. Yes, sir, we are back, Oliver. Welcome back, my man.
We are back. Sal, I miss you, man. I mean,
I miss you, my brother, man.
it's not the same world without you, Sal. I'll be honest. It's not the same world without you.
Like, it
What's
just
up,
stinks.
bro?
Like, as you, like, many supporters that I've always been watching us know that we're so far apart. I'm in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. My man's in Long Island. How you been?
Good, man. I'm good. I'm glad I took the winter sessions because honestly, I was bored out of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though, last semester was such a difficult semester, it was like I couldn't wait for that break. It was great. Yeah. 2 weeks go by, and I'm like, all right, like I'm ready to it's driving me nuts because I want to be on top of my things and not having baseball around. It's been a little difficult transition, but honestly, truly, we stay positive, especially with this podcast. We stay positive. And one thing I would admit about this podcast is I have to hold myself accountable. So I'm a big guy, and we're big believers in if we're gonna preach something out, we gotta hold ourselves accountable.
Absolutely.
I can't sit here and preach to people. We gotta work hard, this and the third, and not do it because that's just me being a hypocrite, and I don't want to be a hypocrite. So, how was your New Year's, man? I mean, you're the past since we've talked. How's everything been?
Everything's been good. I mean, just thanks that, New Year's, I'm usually always with the, bigger crowd, bigger family, but I was with my close family, of course, my mother, father, sister, grandmother. So it was good. I mean, made the most out of it, just like that year. I mean, couldn't go on a true vacation. I don't know if you did or not, but like, really just go down, down New Jersey, Atlantic City, Seaside, visit those areas. 806 views on one video? What?
One video. I posted it on Instagram, and like people
one time
understand. Like Sal and I are, like I always say, we're nobody's trying to be somebody's. We're very humble in the fact of yes, we're Division I athletes now. Congratulations, Sal. We'll get into that later. We're Division I athletes. We're student athletes. We are, a little above the curve in a sense, and we're nobodies. We're not here acting like we are this and the third. So when you get
exactly, it's not like we have God-given talents or pure genius. It's just you just have to have that hard-working, go-getting mentality. I mean, my mother preaches it all the time. You can't just sit back and just watch and mope. It's a tough thing.
I joined Babylon CrossFit. Shout out to them because they're amazing. Trish is the owner of the place, but everyone that's there is amazing. You go at any time. They teach you. I was a rookie. I'm telling you right now, I would compete with moms and they would cook me. They're cooking me. Moms are cooking me. So it's just that that humbles you as an athlete. That humbles you because you're like, oh my God, I'm not as good as I thought. And you see wow, there's something here. And it's like at first it was a transition. Someone had told me, gave me advice, goes, don't fall in love with it too quick because you're going to burn out.
Of course. It's the same with the gym.
Kept going little by little. Now I went 4 days in a row. I have Sunday to Wednesday. Yesterday I couldn't go. I had to take care of my sister. But 4 days in a row, and I can already see the difference in my body changing because now I'm physically getting stronger. And oh my God, it's CrossFit. I recommend it to anybody that's willing to push himself to another level and finding the right CrossFit place because I go to the 6 a.m. group. I either go to 6 a.m. or 4. So if I go to bed late, I don't want to abuse my body and wake up too early. But I try to go to 6 a.m. group, and they are beast. Those guys are beast. I'm still doing my thing, and it's just great. You know why? Because I'm networking as well. So a lot of the guys that are there are finance guys. And they go at 6 a.m. because they take a trip together to work to the city. Obviously not now because of COVID. But all these guys are like finance guys. They have their own firm. They run their own. Some of them run their own thing. Some of them work at firms. And hey, my props goes out to them. And honestly, man, I just been staying busy. I took two winter courses. So I know if I'm working hard, if I'm home, like your mom said, if you're home dozing around, sleeping, you're not gonna get anything. But I know I'm not doing that. I know I'm out there putting it out there. Whatever is the right thing, it's gonna come. It's just time. I graduated in May. I'm gonna cry. I know I will. Like it's been a crazy road, man. You know what I was telling my dad, Sal?
What were you talking?
I've shared my story on this podcast and everything like that, and I'm still graduating on time. I had my heart attack. I changed my major.
Sorry. Oh my God.
I've changed my major. I've got a minor, and I'm still graduating on time. How is that possible? How? It's been for you? How's this experience been for you? Might as well just jump into it then.
Might as well, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, first off, dream come true. It's crazy. I mean, I got called into Coach G's office one day, and you know, I was always working as a manager.
Shout out to Coach G.
Coach G was a guest on our podcast. Go watch his radio show, great radio show. And so going back, he calls me into his office. It was right after a practice right before practice had started. The guys, this is the funny thing. So like the guys were like looking at me like all funny and stuff, like kind of like you see little smirks and stuff. Like I was like, what's going on? Is there like a prank going on or something? Like I see Jalil like giggling, like B Rush like laughing or something. I'm just like, all right. So Coach G, one of the assistants calls me up, and I go upstairs. Coach G's in his office. It's like in his throne. Like that's how he has his office set up. He's like,
he does.
Come sit over here. And I was like, all right, what's going on? Did I get in trouble? This is like reminding me, like, give me flashbacks of like when I got the scholarship, right? Like I got called in. I thought I was in trouble. Same thing. So I go and sit down, and Coach G was just flat out with it. So especially with this unusual season that's currently going on, there was a lot of hesitation about playing time, amount of players on the team, and they just needed help. So during the off season, even before the pandemic had happened, I was always playing around with the guys, like, you know, pick up. I think I played with you one time in the gym, and
I'm nice as hell. I don't care what anyone.
I got Oliver. He literally plays like his my career player in 2K. Like he's literally built the same way.
I do.
But here's the thing, though, and this is what I thought about. I was like, you know what? It could have been that I didn't want to play with them and embarrass myself because I never played with D1 athletes like these guys. But the thing was, I was able to keep up with them and still score and do what I can. You know what I mean? With the average body body type that I have. So I was thinking about how beneficial and how crazy it was that actually worked out for me. Because if I hadn't done that and the players hadn't advocated to tell coach, you know, he's good, give him a chance to walk on, I probably wouldn't have had that. And I always say thank you to them. I say it every day. Like, I'm just like grateful anytime I walk through those doors. So when coach gave me the opportunity to walk on, do a workout, I had to go through a whole process. So I couldn't just jump in and play. But he gave me the opportunity and I earned it. My God, I was just like, this is crazy. This is a dream come true. Because when I was in high school, it was kind of like a laughing. Like I wasn't taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not by teammates, because it was a lot of ego. I'm going to be honest with you, Oli, and I'm sure you experienced it not only in high school. But, I mean, you were studying high school, probably not that much, but in college, you know what I'm saying? Like you had to really fight for those earning opportunities. I mean, you said it,
bro.
They put you in because most of the players were injured.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that opportunity sparks for you and you had a spotlight and you were a stud even then.
Yeah.
But like I said, the ego was annoying. You know what I mean? And that's what I hated the most. When I got out of high school, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna earn these opportunities and prove a lot of people wrong. And you know what, for a mentality like that, it's kind of negative, you know what I mean?
No,
But at the
hell no,
same time,
bro. It's a dog
for
mentality.
some people, you know what I
Alpha
mean?
mentality.
It's an alpha mentality, exactly. So the thing was, and I don't focus on other people. I'm like, you never want to hate somebody. This is the thing. And I was watching some like articles, reading some books. You want to keep your enemies close. You never want to hate them.
Always.
Because if you hate them, you're having that negativity, that negative mentality stuck in your mind.
Always.
Make a negative lifestyle for yourself because you're focusing on that. So here's the thing. When that happened, I earned that opportunity for certain players on my high school, coaches, my head coach. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to state that because that's how I felt. Because I was at a low point where I was just like,
on your Jordan,
I'm
I
going to
took it
quit.
personal.
It felt personal. I felt like I wanted to quit the sport that I loved. People say it's a hobby, you know, a regular sport, but like I grew up with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like a childhood thing seeing Kobe Bryant. Like when I saw Kobe pass away, it broke my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why, because it's like such a close thing to, if there was an MLB player that like you grew up watching, it would freaking hurt. You know what I mean? You didn't know the guy personally, but you witnessed him in your childhood.
I agree with you.
As growing up.
Yeah, no.
So when that happened, and afterwards, you know, I started getting texts, even my coach congratulating me, my head coach, you know, shout out Coach Bula. I mean, that's the thing. You don't want to focus on that negative mentality. You want to continue, stay quiet and continue to work. And that's what happened. I ended up earning the spot. I'm playing with this team in this unusual season, but you know, it was an accomplishment I couldn't believe. And when I had that, you know, that opportunity in front of me, I was like, I have to take this. This is insane. This is like the craziest opportunity. It's unreal. It still feels unreal when I'm on that court wearing the jersey. Because as you know, I started off as a mascot wearing a horse outfit as Nitro. You know what I'm saying? Then to a manager where I was wearing a polo and like khakis, dress shoes, and helping with the team on the bench and all that. But now I'm a player and I got called into a game, my first game against Drexel, and my heart was beating when I got called in. Coach G calls me. He's like, Sal, go in. First off, here's the thing, Oli. It was like a 10 or 13-point game. It wasn't a blowout. That's how much trust and belief these players and coaches have in me. And it's crazy. But I never overlook it. And I'm just like, when I heard that, I just, boom, went in. I forgot my mask. I had to wear a mask because I got popped in the nose in practice. And I had to wear that mask that many of the athletes have to wear if they get hit. You know what I'm saying? Like Richard Hamilton, you know.
Your Kawhi stuff. You hear Kawhi with it on?
The Kawhi one is like serial killer vibes, though. That's crazy. But in general, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to wear that, and I forgot about it. It's just like my instinct was like, run, go into that game now. Don't let it go by. Don't hesitate. I went in, and my God, it was just everything was moving fast. Everything was a little blurry. I just couldn't believe it. I don't know. Here's the thing. I want to ask you, what was it like going into your first game as a D1 athlete?
Going into my first game, I was on the bench. But when I was...
general, I'm saying
I know.
First game going on and playing.
I'm just joking. No, when I got my opportunity, well, to lead into that, honestly, we went to Kansas State. I forgot where we were. Kentucky. I don't know where the hell we were. Tennessee. That's where we were, Tennessee. I forgot what school it was, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I didn't play a single game. Anyways, fast forward. So in my mind, I told this to Sal. I said, bro, get your shots up. Do things by yourself. Learn yourself. Because when you get the opportunity, there is no time to feel bad for yourself. There is zero time to feel bad for yourself. All you need to say is, oh, I prepared for this moment. And whatever happens, happens. I'll live with the results. So that's what I did. So my mindset was already turned off. Coach goes, I remember I said it in another podcast. Coach goes, the last person gets hurt. I am the last infielder that can play. He goes, oh my God, who are we going to play now? And I'm like, I took that personal. I did. What did I do? I told the same thing to Sal. I said, go out there and just do it. Just do it. What do you have to lose? People already laughed at you. People already looked at you different. What do you have to lose? Oh, you did bad? Well, that's what they expected. So It's not really going to be. You do good, everybody's shocked. If you see my first hit, I swear to you, my first hit, anybody on the team could tell you, all you heard was, oh my God, like shocked. And I'm like, why y'all shocked? Like I won MVP going into high school, going into college. So I don't know what the shock factor was about, but I understood that. And it was first pitch. If I'm not mistaken, it was first pitch right down the middle, boom, single right away. And it's the same thing as you getting a ball and like taking a shot right away and making it. It's like that type of feeling. And that's what really was going on through my head. It was just zero. All I kept thinking about was I do this for my mom, my dad, and my sister, and God. Those are the only people that I care about. Because at the end of the day, that's all the people that have been cheering me on since day one. And I'm gonna prove myself in because I can't ask my teammates. I haven't proved myself. I played bad in the fall. I admit it. That's just the truth. But that's what happened, man. I just turned off my mind. And guess what? I went on a hitting streak. And bro, I'm telling you right now, though, like I play songs. So the song that I was really listening to at the time was Lil Skies. Lil Skies dropped that album.
Lil Skies was good. Mm-hmm.
Lil Skies, when he came out with that album, I kept listening to it on the road, anywhere we went. I kept listening to the song. So anywhere that song comes back in my car now, listening to it, it brings me back to those moments. All I kept saying to myself before I had my heart attack was, enjoy this moment. Breathe it, enjoy it, live it, embrace it. I have zero regrets because I did it. I loved it. You know, I'm upset of the way I went out. I'm not a fan of it, but I had to do what I had to do.
Of course.
You know?
Especially for your life, you know what I'm saying? That's what's most important.
And at the end of the day, you can't be at a place where you're not wanted. That's just the truth. At the end of the day, that's just true. That's not even talking bad about it. Just you can't be at a place you're not wanted. That's the honest truth, you know. And it's unfortunately when you have a situation like I did as well, I was recovering. I wasn't at 100%. So you're not wanted at a place, and you're not 100%. I'm just gonna have another mental problem. I'm just gonna get myself sick again. Why?
It's not worth it. Yeah.
It's not worth it, man. All I'm gonna tell you though, brother, like. You became over brother to me the past 6 or 7 months that we've been here is just embrace it, bro. Enjoy the moment. Live that moment. Breathe it. Every time you mess up, enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game. What's the worst that can happen is you lose the game and you move on and you go to class the next day and get an A. It's just enjoy it, embrace it, because I'm telling you, I'm blessed to say that I made a Division I and I enjoyed it. And I'm okay in living with the results and moving on with my life. Yes, do I miss being on the field and having a couple hits and feeling that moment of, you know, feeling invincible? But it's life, man. Just live it up, man. Keep doing your thing. And I'm so fucking proud of you, bro. I'm so proud of you.
Appreciate it. I mean, you were one of the first people I called. I mean, in regards to friends, I mean, I was just like, I have to like let him know about this off the rip. Like, this is, you know, a true D1 athlete that I met and like was sincere about what he went through, the aftermath, and including now, especially as a student. You know, there's a lot of athletes out there that will go into the transfer portal, not pick up a team, and it's just tough for them to even do anything. And now they're just working on the side. And I'm just like, you know what? Oli's not even transferring or anything. He straight up had to give up his position, a sport that he loved. And now he's still working towards his profession. And that's a lot of hard work and sacrifice.
I'll be honest with you, bro. I had this conversation with my dad, and I wasn't going to say it on the pod, but fuck it. We're talking about it. This conversation with my pops, I'm like, the other day I prayed. And I pray every night. Personally, I pray every night. But I never ask God for much. I never do. I don't try doing that. I'm thankful for what I have because I know there's always a plan. But I'm like, God, like my boy. You know, literally like my boy. Like, you take baseball from me. You basically take my health from me. You're basically taking like what like when am I gonna see where am I gonna see the reward? Like you taking it, you got it. Like I've accepted it. I've grown up. I've developed. I've grown. It's just when is it gonna start turning around a little bit? Like at least something. Like damn, man. Like I'm blessed to be in this beautiful house that I'm in. I am blessed for all that. Yes, I'm not asking for more than that, but I'm just saying. Damn, man, like you take my life, you You take what I live for, the baseball, which was literally my world. You take it from me, and what, man? Like, what is it? Like, when am I gonna see the reward? Like, I've stayed positive, I've kept influencing, and that's what I keep doing, bro. And I told my dad that it was a little sentimental, but it's just the truth, bro. And it's just about staying positive and pushing forward, because at the end of the day, that's all you can do. I'm gonna keep on figuring out a way. I'm gonna keep on cracking the code. I'm gonna keep on having fun, because I love having fun. But in these tough times, if you can have fun now, when it's hard as hell to live your life right now, imagine when things get better, bro.
My God. I mean, first off, what you said is on the money. I mean, you have to be positive.
Just find yourself, figure it out. I feel like nowadays with social media, especially, a lot of it is getting influenced by the wrong people. We're listening to the wrong people. Look at the Paul brothers fighting professional boxers. You know what's gonna happen to these guys? One day they're gonna walk into like Logan Paul Mayweather, and Mayweather's gonna hit him with a right punch, and he's gonna be like, "I'll probably never do this again." Because imagine getting punched by Mayweather. You will second guess everything you've ever done. When you walk into the octagon with a professional, undefeated fighter, come on, man. Just to get what is that for? I get it. Listen, I love how Logan Paul has grown up, and
I will be honest too. Like I love his character. I love impulsive. I love that whole appearance, that whole approach to this world, especially. What he's doing, and I agree with you. Like, it's crazy, right? You have to think of it though as a marketing aspect. The guy is growing his brand unbelievably. He's gonna have one of the biggest pay-per-views because of it. People want to see him either get knocked out or see Mayweather in a close fight, which probably won't happen. But at the end of the day, he's getting a paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
The guy came from
Disney.
This is
a win-win for him, because not only is he making a lot of money, he's getting a lot more publicity, especially for his podcast and his YouTube channel.
Just hope he
exactly. Hope he comes out okay, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, we looked at it too with Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. I mean, I was just like, Mike Tyson could literally kill this man, but Roy Jones throughout that fight was dodging, weaving, and survived. You know what I'm saying? Landed a few punches too, but ultimately came out okay. That was the biggest thing. Not the same thing for Nate Robinson, but you know what I'm saying? Like, like that's the biggest thing. And you know what I'm saying? Like, the publicity of it, Nate Robinson kind of hurt his legacy a little bit, probably a lot. I'm not going to lie. Like, any of these kids will probably see that. I mean, I viewed him as like one of the, probably one of the best players I've ever seen for his height. You know what I'm saying? Heart over height. I loved his book. And it hurt him. It hurt his appearance. You know what I'm saying? Knocked out on the floor.
No, I'll admit it though. These are Disney stars who just brew their brand, and I look up to in a certain way to Logan and Jake, how the way they've grown, they develop their brand. One thing I would say though, I'll never get lost in the sauce. I will never, no matter what I need to do in life to be successful, I'm not gonna lose myself in the process.
Mm-hmm.
And I refuse to do that. I refuse to sell my soul just to get a couple more views or get a little bit more money. Like, listen, I just told this to my friends yesterday, was I wouldn't change my life for the rich and fancy lifestyle, because I feel like if I were rich and fancy lifestyle, I wouldn't have the family that I have. We are so close as a family, and thank God we're not living paycheck to paycheck, but we're happy. I'm happy with my family. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, as much as I would love to be famous one day and have that feeling of, wow, like I made it. But I can understand why people get sick of it, man. You can't even go to a McDonald's anymore without a million people coming after you. Like, that could get really, really upsetting. It could become a really tight. Look at Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber's another person who, bro, I never thought Justin Bieber could ever fix his persona.
He flipped his life around. I'm not going to lie.
Flipped his life around, man.
He lost it. He was losing it, right? Doing stupid stuff, vandalizing his cars, getting into trouble, going to jail, able to flip his life around, make positive music. He's been making a lot of positive music, and I'm loving it. You know what I'm saying? And he's having fun with his life. He has a beautiful wife now and enjoying life and flipping his life around, like I said. And, money can change people, like you said. You got lost in the sauce because you have so much money on your hands, you don't know what to do with it.
You don't know what to
You're
do
going to
with it.
lose it. So
That's why any
like,
successful person tells you if it's money what you want, that's not a realistic goal. Because money you could get, anybody could be rich. Honestly, think about it. Think about it. All you need to do is get three jobs, two, like literally a regular career, have something on the side, an investment that blows up, and have something else that you're doing, and you can honestly become rich. Rich, what's rich for you? $1 million? $1 million isn't that difficult to get. It isn't that difficult.
all right, well, I don't know about that one. I mean, if we were saying that, we
Now,
wouldn't be
I
in college
swear
right
to you,
now.
the $1 million isn't the end of the world. It
No, I'm
really,
not saying that. I'm just saying I don't think it's simply that easy to get $1
it's
million.
not that easy, but
Man.
it's not as hard as people think. It's not, $1 million isn't the end of the world. It's not going to get you everything you want in life. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm saying, yes, $1 million isn't, oh, yeah, I'm going to wake up a millionaire. No. I'm
No,
just saying $1 million isn't as much as people think. You know what I mean? It's still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm
it's not
not
going to
trying
solve
to,
your problems.
it's
Not going to
just
solve
not,
everything.
yeah, exactly. Because I'll give this to Warren Buffett. He always said this is you notice every rich person, every rich as hell person, they still have a janky car or they still have some type because they know how to use their money and accept that. The minute you start getting money, I got $1 million in my bank account. Damn, what Lambo I'm gonna get? That's $300,000 right there, $400,000. The insurance on that calculator right there. Oh, I want to get a house. What money? The 400 left? The 600 left? Oh, what happens to everything else to maintain that house? There's your $1 million. See you later. Down the drain. That's just how it is, man. It's just a mindset thing.
And again, it goes back to, leading by example. I mean, all these people are trying to do, and what you're saying is very true. They try to buy those assets only because they see all these rappers and other celebrities doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Especially most of these upcoming rappers, all you see their first purchases
flexing.
that is the diamond chain. You know what I'm saying?
If you got a diamond chain, you made it.
Whereas somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody is, oh my God, I totally forgot his name. Who's the rapper that passed away from Crenshaw?
Pop Smoke?
Nipsey Hussle. I'm sorry, Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle said it best, and this was during an interview that he wasn't even popular at the time. He didn't blow up yet. He was talking about manifest and buying property and gaining those type of assets before going out and buying cars and jewelry and girls and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the biggest thing, and it's leading by example. It's like we said, the power of words, responsibility, and leadership. You could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have those type of those type of viewpoints, those type of goals in maintaining, then where are you going to go with it? You know what I'm saying? You have no long-term goals with that.
So my dad's always taught me, he goes, if you can't save up $5, you're not going to be able to save up $1 million. I'm like, what do you mean by that? He goes, if you cannot save $20, if you cannot handle $20 and the way you spend it, you will not be able to handle money because you start off with small money. You start off disciplining yourself. Oh, I can't spend this $20 on these new shoes. I don't know what shoes are $20, but I'm gonna spend it. But people put that as a down payment. I'm gonna put that down payment, pay you off weekly by week. Like, if you can't do that, then you're not prepared mentally. You're not. Seriously. You got to hold yourself. I just downloaded an app called Mint. And Mint, what that does is control your finances. So I have my credit cards on there. I have my debit card on there. I have my investment account on there. And I see and I manage my money. When you see what you're spending on something, it says food, it says others, it says whatever, and you start seeing it yourself, you start holding yourself more accountable to that. And another thing that I did recently was I got a credit card. I had a credit card before, but it was under my dad's name. And I have like a 780 credit score. Amazing. This is crazy. But the problem is, it doesn't mean anything because it's under my dad.
Exactly.
So I just got a credit card out, a Discover card, and now I'm maxing that out to try to get my credit up. Obviously, I'm not maxing it out in the sense I can't pay it. But yeah, I'm using that like if it was my debit card, having the money ready to get my credit up. Because my plan, God willing, is 3 to 4 years, manifesting it now, is to buy my house. But I'm not living in that house. I'm real estate in that house. I'm gonna rent it out. That's my goal. One of my long-term goals. And that's just how it is, man. That's just the mindset that we're in. And talking about that though, like how crazy was 2020 to 2021? That just transitioned to where we are now, Sal.
I mean, it's like we're living in a totally different world. I think LeBron said it best too, with the whole current situation with politics and discrimination, racial discrimination, injustice. What we've witnessed that whole summer during this pandemic too, it was just so dark. Like I said, one of the darkest years. So, being that we were able to put together this podcast to work and try to acquire the internships that we're earning, that I earned, that you're still on your path of earning, which you definitely earn with your mentality and your hard work and effort. It didn't stop us from doing what we do and hustling, you know what I'm saying? And working. It didn't stop us. As dark as it was, especially seeing what we saw yesterday, 2 days ago, I mean, I had to take my mind off it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to still just go back and do what I was doing, but I did have that in my mind. And man, it was a tough year transitioning to what we just came from. Still going through a pandemic, cases are still rising. We're still adjusting to online classes, you know what I'm saying? You and many others that are dealing with difficult, it's not easy. I'm not going to say it's not hard I'm not going to say it's easy for everybody. There's people that just can't learn, you know what I'm saying? In the same circumstances as if they were learning in person.
People don't
So,
understand that though too. So people are very, again, it's very ignorant response when someone tells you they physically are struggling with something. You can't just laugh at them and be like, come on, work harder. That's not the answer.
because what it is the focus aspect. It's hard to focus in a
Hard,
room
man.
by yourself
It's
where it's just
hard.
a computer
So,
and you're not having the impact of the teacher in front of you
so
grabbing your attention.
I have license that I could get, right? SIE. And I could focus on that and do all that, right? But it's just there is no like it's so hard to like lock into something that you don't even know about. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you don't even know, like it's almost a sense of like you're alone. It's like you hear anybody get these licenses, like the CPA, they pay you to do this, like get away from everything, like do it. You usually get a group going on, you kind of hold yourself accountable, you get locked in. It's hard to lock in right now. It's hard. And there's no excuses because I could lock in. I can. I'm not saying I can't, but it's just a difficult, man. Mentality wise, it's hard. Like our world got flipped upside down. Look at myself. Look at myself. My life is not the same as it was a year ago. And it's sad because I always repeat it. It's like I'm a popular kid at school. Like a lot of people know me at school. Like I'm Oli. Like everybody knows who Oli is. But who's Oli now? Like I've realized so much to who's really my friends and who really cares about me. Just because you want to text me now, and I appreciate everybody that has texted me, reach it out. You guys know who you are. I'm very thankful, and I thank you in the text. But just because you text me now, just to like almost a default text to say just hi and like get nothing out of it, it goes to show you a lot. Listen, I've reached out to a certain amount of people. I'm done reaching out, but don't do it because you feel bad. Don't do things because you feel bad, because I'm going to realize if you're hitting me up because you feel bad. But sometimes you got to realize that my life isn't as easy, as many people may think. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't affect me at all, because I'll be honest with you. I always have this mindset. If I die tomorrow, I know I lived it up this whole day. I try to live up that whole day and embrace it and enjoy it, because if I die tomorrow, not just because of my heart condition, it's just the truth of life. I'm happy, bro. I'm happy. I don't like getting mad.
God forbid that happens, but that's what you're saying. Like, especially now, like there's so many people that are depressed, you know what I'm saying? And I can't blame them, especially being locked in, can't do what they're doing, especially athletes that probably are still locked down because of COVID. It's an unusual time and we're adjusting to it, but you got to keep moving. You got to stay. You said in the beginning, you have to stay positive. So Ali, like, I just want to hear now too, especially with a new year that's upon us. We started off a little dark, you know what I'm saying? But we're still going to push through, of course. Life goes on, you know what I'm saying? What are your resolutions with this year?
My resolution for this year, financially wise, is develop my credit score, getting it higher, getting some income coming in. So getting something around here, a job or something that will keep me entering with some income, get my foot in the door. My goal is to also, I like to double my net worth every year. And I want to get to $14,000 by the end of the year. Every year I always want to double it and double it. That's just one of my goals, financially wise. Health wise, I want to get more fit, take control more of my health. I just got the Whoop bracelet. Have you heard of a Whoop? So
No.
the Whoop bracelet, people at CrossFit taught me this. That's why I love CrossFit. I love it. So the Whoop, it's a bracelet. It's a little expensive, I'll admit. It's $30 a month. And you put it on there, but it tracks your sleep. It tracks everything you do. It literally holds it down like this is what you're doing. And again, I repeat, when you're seeing what you're doing physically, you're like, whoa, this is not good for me, because it'll show you it. And it'll control your heart. It'll tell you how your heart rate is. It'll tell you a lot of things. So I feel like for me, that's going to be great, because it's going to monitor me. It's going to kind of see where my heart rate's at. And I can control more of my health. So I'm happy towards that. And I'm looking forward to my health. I'm looking to get back to my 220, 215 if I can. Body frame. I'm not fat. I just got really. I'm not fat. I always joke about myself. I got fat.
Buffs.
You know, I'm a buff right now. I'm a little buff. I don't like to be in this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the field anymore. I gotta be careful, because if I'm cool with how I look right now, but if I lose myself, I could lose it. So obviously my weight, get back to like that 220, 215 weight. That's one of my major goals. And my end goal, BO, is, God willing, get into one of the big firms that I've applied for. Like, I am praying to God that I'll shout it out right here, Barclays. Like, Barclays is a company I've applied for, and I'm manifested. Like I told all my friends, I'm like, I'm gonna work for them. I'm gonna work for Barclays. You gotta keep manifesting it. And I'll give it to Sal's mom. She is so motivated, because I told her, I was like, hey, listen, like, I haven't heard back yet, you know? And she told me, she's like, listen, Ali, like, no news is good news. Like, until they say no, you're still in the clear. And I'm like, but it's been like 2 months. She's like, you're fine. And if it's not them, it's going to be someone else. So it's like, hearing that from somebody means a lot. Because, like, honestly, truly, I will be honest with you. Like, I haven't had really much educational, like people believe in me besides my parents, you know? Like, I've never really had that. I've never really had someone, like, people believe in me educationally wise. Like, you're going to do great in education. Like, athlete is a sport, yes, obviously. But education wise, not really. Like, getting my grades and stuff like that and pushing me to that. So hearing that from his mom, and it means a lot to me, you know, because sometimes you do need that little boost, because you feel like sometimes like you're less. And I'll admit, one of my insecurities is education. So that's one of my biggest focuses this year, is getting there. And man, we're going to have a great year, bro. I'm telling you, we're going to keep on pushing forward. What about you, Sal? What are you focused on right now?
So I'm kind of focused. I'll start off with the short-term goals. You know, I really want to take my time and focus on really good time management, especially with my current situation. I'm adjusting to a new lifestyle as a D1 athlete.
Same.
And you went through it, you know, working early in the morning, having classes, and then, you know, workouts at night. Sometimes you'll have night classes. I have a lot of night classes, I'm not going to lie, this semester. So I'm going to adjust to that. I'm taking 7 courses, 2 of them being grad courses. I'm starting them very early. And it's going to be very interesting. So I have to really choose my time wisely. I'm definitely going to sacrifice time from video games, from, you know, hangouts, all that, because I got a lot of things to do. You know what I'm saying? Especially I'm still working towards, you know, preparing for my internship. So I have to make sure my mind is set in stone on priorities.
Out of here, bro.
That's my biggest thing.
Big time, man.
Secondly is, of course, like you said, and I think health is the most important. Like, and that was one of the things, like, I did get interviewed by Equinox about, you know, my whole situation being from a mascot to now a player. And I said one of the biggest things that I'm going to enjoy the most is what I'm learning now in workouts, in training.
You learn so much.
I truly didn't know all the stuff that I did in the weight room. You know what I'm saying? I never really did bench press that much, or the type of workouts these guys are doing, and I'm learning, and that's something I'm going to take with me even after college. So
you're just on the go. You go.
Seriously.
There is no break.
Yeah, exactly. And like during the pandemic, like I went vegan just because I was gaining so much weight. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't working out. And that's what kind of like, calmed me down. I was in a good body type then, but I'm going to be honest, I was weighing a lot less. I was only like 170. I went back up to 185, but I'm fit now. And I'm continuously working out every day with this team, playing against these players. And it's interesting that you said, like one of your biggest insecurities was, education, right? And, somebody believing in you and telling you that you are smart, and you are smart,
Yeah.
Ali, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're working towards something that other people are still on their, behinds waiting on, waiting for that opportunity to come. You have to go and get that opportunity. And that's what you're doing. So what was interesting was when you said that, I was just like, you know what? I felt that same way when somebody was like, you earned this to be on this team. Anybody could just be like, you got lucky, man. You're lucky. And I will say I'm lucky, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that process that I went through, being a mascot, you think anybody just wants to be a mascot or be a manager? And I wasn't getting paid. I didn't need the volunteering hours, but I just loved what I was doing. I loved this team. I loved basketball and the program. Coach G noticed how much hard work and effort I put in those two positions and was like, it's a no-brainer. I would love to have you on as a walk-on, and we need your help.
Hold up. I got a comment for you. I got a little side note. I didn't want to cut you off. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
But they say, Denzel Washington says, if you hang around the barbershop too long, you're going to get a haircut. And that's exactly what you did. You hung around the basketball team until you got your opportunity.
And I didn't think I was going to get the opportunity.
But you hung around there. You hung around. You just were there at all times. It was like, all right, go out there, kid. And I was like, oh, shit.
Just crazy. So one of my short-term goals with that is, like I said, I would say it's a long-term as well. It could extend to both, but just to keep myself healthy and in shape, especially during this pandemic. I think we all need it, whether you're in sports or not. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay positive, like we're always preaching, and to continue to move around, push yourself beyond your limits. That's what I'm doing. I've been pushing myself beyond my limits with these workouts.
Gotcha.
I've never been breathing as hard as I am.
When you were doing boxing? You remember that when you were doing boxing because you wanted to
I was doing boxing with Different Breed, in Teaneck, Different Breed Sports Academy, and I was just like, like what you're doing with the 5 a.m., 4 a.m., and then 6 a.m. workouts with CrossFit. I was doing 5 a.m., 6 a.m. classes in boxing. And I was just like, it pushed me, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially having a trainer waiting for me, a class waiting for me, that's what pushed me. So it's the same thing with basketball. I have a team waiting for me. I got to help out in workouts. I got to guard players like Jalil or Kalen Baker that we had on the show. Freaking Brandon Rush is probably the toughest player to guard. So
episode is blowing up. Oh my God, Kalen Baker's episode. Wow.
It's just crazy though. It's just like, because we had all D1 athletes and I'm learning. I'm just like, wow, this is what it was like as a D1 athlete, how tough it was. I didn't realize how tough it was seeing what you guys were going through. Not only putting your body through extensive, limits, but on top of it, you're putting your brain past its capacity with all the learning that you're doing in classes. And you're just using your brain each and every day, as well as your muscles and your body. It's a tough process. And that's what I'm going to go through. And then before you want to add your thing, I'm just going to say my last thing. My long-term goal is, of course, to be very successful in my internship this coming summer with Ernst & Young, and to, of course, land a position as a tax accountant.
And you will. 100% will. That's just, I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait for your success. Like, I really hate people who hate on other people.
Exactly. And I want to see you succeed as well. As much as
friends
I'm always the type that's like, you know what, I'm happy for myself, but I'm just like, I want to make sure these guys, like when I was asked to be put on the team, like I didn't want to be selfish. I was just like, hell yeah, like whatever. Like each and every day, I'm just like, I'm really here right now. There's a lot of people that aren't in this position, and I'm thankful for it. that I was put into in this situation. I was invited to try out for this team, play for this team, because they could have simply just said he's unfit, pick somebody else up, somebody that could actually play. But they believed in me, and I was insecure. I didn't know. I was like, I thought I sucked. I don't know. I didn't think I could compete with these guys, which I won't say I'm better than anybody, but I can keep up with them. And that's the biggest thing. I can follow directions, follow plays and outlines and guidelines. So
learn how to switch your mind off. That's just the biggest thing. I will give you a piece of advice. Once you learn how to turn that switch off, because I'm telling you right now, it's the same thing in CrossFit. When I'm tired, I can't do it anymore, switch comes off. I just do it. I just see my brain leaves.
That's what you have to do. Your mind thinks you're hurting your body, but you're really just pushing yourself in this situation.
My body's so one workout, and we'll almost end it. We've been here for a while. One of the workouts for CrossFit was a mile run, 80 sit-ups, 60 box jumps,
Jesus,
and 10 pull-ups. You were supposed to do like the
I forgot what that one's called.
Muscle ups.
Yes.
But I'm not at that level yet, and I admit that. I was getting higher. I'm getting higher. Wow. And I was on 20 box jumps. And I was like, man, like I'm breathing heavy. And I said, yo, like it's so easy to quit here. But mama never raised a quitter. And
Yes,
bro,
sir.
I jumped on that box jump and I just turned off my mind. And I just started counting. When I realized it was 60 box jumps down. And that's just life, man. It's like right now, I admit it. And I'll keep on saying that this is one of the hardest points in my life right now. But you wouldn't tell because of my, like the way I am, you wouldn't tell that I'm going through it right now. You wouldn't tell. I'm going through in the sense of getting a job and stuff like that. Like you wouldn't tell. But guess what? I'ma figure it. It's gonna come because I'm at the barbershop. All I need is the haircut. Yeah, I need to understand that. All I need is a damn haircut. Once I get that haircut, it's on. It's on, man. It's just that's how it is. And guys, oh my God.
What an episode.
What an episode.
Good way to come back. We did take a long break. I've been adjusting to my schedule. Oli's been adjusting to, the CrossFit schedule. That's a tough schedule, and what you're doing is very tough, especially, getting back into that athletic, atmosphere. It's a lot of sacrifice of time, a lot of stress on the body, but you're pushing through it.
And it's fun.
Especially making the most out of what's happening right now.
Yeah, make the most out of it, man.
I'm glad we addressed what we addressed. I'm glad we shared our thoughts. I'm glad we shared our goals. And that's honestly what life is all about. You're going to go through tough times. You're going to go through good times. But at the end of the day, you want to maintain those goals and that positivity. That positivity is the good spirit that keeps you moving in life. If you focus on the past, you're going to have a negative mentality because you're thinking about bad thoughts. If you focus on the future, too much on the future, you're going to have too much anxiety about what can be done, what you're going to do.
My biggest problem.
Each step, each small step and big steps is what's happening in this current world right now and what you're currently doing right now. And that's what you have to focus on to keep you in a positive spirit. And that's our message. That's what we say preach each and every day. We want to motivate you guys, especially the young viewers out there watching us, listening to us as D1 athletes, as business students, and as students in college.
It's go-getters.
It's just go-getters. It's not going to class and then going home and wasting your time, wasting your family's money, most importantly.
You have two kids. You have two kids right now on the podcast that necessarily aren't in the sense of poor where they're starving, where there could be excuses where, I could live off mommy or daddy's little money that they have. We're not rich in any sense, but little money that they have. But that's how people think. No. We're adding to our future. We're taking advantage of it. If you take anything from what we said today, just do it, man. Go out there and do it. Remember, hang around the barbershop. Keep chilling at the barbershop because you will get a haircut. But to get to the barbershop, you have to drive there or walk there or take a bike there or take a boat there. Find a way to get there, to get yourself there. I graduated in May, and I'm crying now thinking about it. Because you don't know the sacrifices and the time and how much that little piece of paper, people like to say, that little piece of paper means to you.
Absolutely.
It means to me so much than a lot of people may think. Just to be able to repay my family back and say, this is for you. Like, this is you, Dad. This is for you, Mom. This is for you. Everything you guys done, here it is in that piece of paper. So I'm telling you, it's all about that. Man, I thank you guys for listening.
Like, we're going to have more episodes coming in the future. Don't worry. I know it's been a while. It's been almost, I believe, 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, but we were trying to grow it. We were trying to get like more marketing wise. We were focusing more on the marketing sense because, you know, we want to be able to create not just content, the best type of content.
Absolutely.
You know? And just go back and look at our first video to now. Look at the growth. It's happening. It's growing. We are recording our development. We are physically documenting our growth. We're physically documenting it. Telling you. So, Sal, do your thing, my boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and listening to the Final Two podcast. Like and subscribe. And of course, follow us on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Twitter, Instagram. Thank you for watching, and peace.
Peace.